A practice is the key. Okay, that is the key.
It's necessary to have the practice.
If you don't have it, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Get ready for our interview with Mantak Chia, or Master Mantak Chia. You have to call him Master.
But people, sometimes they don't care about the body. So the body breaks down. Now you have no way to get out and don't get to the higher level.
The guy who brought the Tao to the West.
Einstein said E = mc squared. That's all.
He has been teaching hundreds of thousands of people across the world really powerful practices.
We say opening yourself, like the LSD, like ayahuasca, and those things actually don't give you anything. It just gives you an illusion and draining your energy. But people see something and they think they're enlightened, but actually they're not enlightened. The worst thing of a human can do.
It's not growing.
Because what you do, you make all the money, you make all the name, you cannot carry them with you.
Cruising Berlin by train on my way to Master Mantak Chia. Mantak Chia is a Taoist master. He's originally Chinese, but he lives in Thailand and he's currently doing his European tour. I've met him before in Thailand at his home. Today I will talk to him in Berlin about his practices, why does he do what he do, and much, much more. I'm really looking forward to this.
Thank you for your time. You're doing the European tour right now.
Right.
How do you stay in your energy all the time? Because you're 74 years old now.
Yeah, just practice and practice with them.
So you do your practice as a living. Yeah. So some people say that the practices you teach are the most profound out there, and I do some of your practices myself. But it's true inner alchemy. What do you think makes the practices you teach so effective?
The whole key is that the Tao practice actually go in very deep into the internal organ, and we call the physical part, and from the physical part it manifests out to energy part, and energy part manifestation into the spiritual part. Okay, and a lot of people they start with spiritual, but it's too weak. You don't know where they come from, you know. So in the Tao believe that organ producing energy. So, and it feed the body, and it also support and feeding to the soul and spirit. So the Tao say if you have a good, healthy body, your soul and spirit will be strong and healthy. That is whole a part of the whole Tao practice. So we have a physical part, emotional part, spiritual part. Yeah.
And the physical part is then the basics.
Right, it's the more basic thing. But people, sometimes they don't care about the body. So the body break down. Now you have nowhere to get out and don't get to the higher level.
So it's like a prerequisite to go to the higher levels, to first go into your body.
Right.
Yeah, that's something that I had to learn as well. So, how do you know these practices? Who taught you these practices?
Yeah, that means I'm lucky to meet my master, which he's a Tao master, and he do a lot of practice.
How old were you back then?
At that time, I'm only I went to Hong Kong to study when I was 13, and about 14, 15, I started to meet my master. Yeah.
And he taught you for many years?
Yeah, I stayed with him about 5 years study. Well, actually, when I start teaching to the West, it's the teaching and learning and practice, you know. That's why I like the West. They very open. So they learn from so many masters from India, from many places, and they have a lot of knowledge. And when they learn from me, and they started to see the connection of everything. So that I lucky that I learned from my master that because he have a very systematic system keep me. So that's why I learned a lot from all the students that they learn so many different things. Okay, and I can see that what the lacking in the Tao, but I have a system to put everything into the practice. So that is the key. Yeah.
So did the practices evolve over time when you were working with them?
Actually, evolve a lot.
Are they still evolving?
Yes. Actually, we're going to much more evolving now.
And why is this?
I think that more technology, more knowledge, more science thing, it make me understand a lot more. Because a lot of things the Tao talking about the cosmology, the energy, the inside, the anatomy, all these things is the Tao talk so long already, and now all the science thing is make insight more available.
So do you read many scientific books to really get into the material?
No, I like to have all the science, mechanics, astrology, anatomy magazine, because now it's so cheap, so simple. And now you have a iPad, you can have 1,000 books inside there, 1,000 magazines inside there. So sometimes just look to the magazine and you enlighten. That's how simple.
Yeah.
Because you have the background, it's very easy to understand this. Yeah.
And then you connect the more scientific part to the spiritual part.
Yeah. Because they work together.
Yeah.
It cannot be separated them out.
You wrote many books throughout the last decades. Are you working on a new book now?
Yeah, there's a whole new, a lot of new improving practice inside there.
And can you tell what it is about? What practice?
So we evolve more into the higher practice, and evolve more into the how all the human alchemy part, energy part, so everything is interconnection together with all the energy part and the physical part and the spiritual part. It's all interconnecting together. So it takes a long time to understand more how all these things work together. Yeah.
You put a lot of your energy into bringing the Tao to the world. I think you've been the man that brought the Tao to the West. What really drives you in doing this? Why are you doing all this?
You know, I think that when I come from a Christian family, and all my parents and my grandparents, they're very religious. I've been reading, listening, preaching. I mean, a lot of preachers coming in, and you learn. You go to church, you go to Sunday school, all this kind of thing. You learn so much of all this theory of what this and what this. But when you come to the Tao, I found that, hey, a lot of practice, all the Tao have it. And the teaching of philosophy part, the religious have it so much.
Can you give an example of where it connects?
You know, like the simple part that the Tao, that Jesus said, you must born again. You must become like a child. And there's a whole Tao practice, okay? So in a written down in the Tao text, this is what? 2,000-3,000 years ago or 4,000 years ago, talk about a born again process. And the Tao we call the opening the microcosmic is like your born again process. Okay, And Jesus said, if you want to enter in the gate of heaven, you must become like a child. So there's a whole Tao practice, like the emotional wisdom, back to the body wisdom. It's just like you go back to be like a child, you let go a lot of things, and you started to feel the hate. You have a lot of energy that you need to clear out. And when you clear out the negative and find balance inside your organ, now you it's just like back to be like a child again. You let go, you don't worry, and now your energy will not drain out. Yeah.
So it's the thing that Jesus talked about, but then you're actually doing it in practice.
Right.
Yeah.
Not only in the philosophy part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're becoming it.
Right.
Beautiful. Do you have a practice for yourself that really makes the difference for you? Because you do a lot of practices because you teach other people, of course.
No, the Tao have talking about the first basic thing that the Tao is talking about is you have fire, so you need to develop the fire. So all the whole basic training is they have to develop a Dantian fire, because actually the Dantian of the navel, below the navel area, that is where we call your original energy store. Yeah. When you come to this world, you receive we call original power to run your whole life, and it come to the first cell stick in the placenta and become umbilical cord, and that is where this energy always start from here. So the Tao said, if you cultivate your original force, you need to do every day. So you smile down and you feel the fire burning. And the Tao always talk about like the suction, the power. And also the very important part in the Tao is the basic of every level have to learn, is the inner smile. You're smiling down into organ by organ. And now we know that people are so stressed. So when you're stressed, when we're in a very stressful life, you're creating what we call by fight and flight response. You're in a sympathetic, you fight and flight response. This is the West discovered it. And when you learn how to smile, relax, now you're into the parasympathetic. And so we said, you smile, you relax, and you rest, and the body started to digest. So that is a very important part. See? So the whole Tao talk about inner smile. You smile inwardly, because when for example, when the liver are so stressful, the stomach and the spleen, pancreas, all these things are very stressful, it stops digestion. So we get indigestion, we get blow up, we cause constipation, because we are too stressed. And the body into a fight mode, a stress mode, and it stops because we're in the fighting. Yeah. So the body have to stop the digestion, absorption, elimination, go into fight mode. Yeah.
So by smiling to your organs, you really impact the physical process.
Right. You calm them down, and the stress started to gone, and you have more energy and you're more healing power. Yeah.
And why is it then that when your body functions better, that you can get more in alignment and get your frequency higher? How does this work?
So the whole key is that we said, so the Tao said, when you activate the Dantian fire, okay? So when you activate the Dantian fire, the most important part about Dantian fire is you're creating a energy, a suction, okay? So when you're creating suction, it's creating, we call drawing a primordial force, drawing the energy. So we divide them into true light, true force, and true sound. Because we have so much light and color in this world, and that is our everyday life. Okay. But in the Tao belief that there there are a true light, true force, and true sound is the one that beginning creating the universe. And the true light is the one that gives us the soul and spirit, and the true force gives us the energy. Okay? And the sound make the breathing, the heartbeat, the pulses activate. So that is how. So when we lost the connection with this, now we lost a lot, because there too much what we call artificial light confuse all the real light, and the real light is the one will come one day and bring us back to the universe, back to where we come from. So we can't believe that. Yeah. So that's why when you get the diaphragm activate. So we have the pubic diaphragm, thoracic diaphragm, laryngeal diaphragm, and cranial diaphragm activate. You're creating a suction, because suction is life. No suction, life gone. But a true light and primordial light need the suction to draw into all the energy center. You don't creating that suction, though energy cannot, the true light, true force cannot come in. That's what the whole thing about that. Yeah.
And why is then, when you look at being a human being, why is the sexual energy so important then?
Because the Tao believe that we talk about beginning of our life. Okay. So when a parent make love, and when they have love and arousal and orgasm, now the arousal, orgasm, and love combined together, we call love vibration. And that is the major key of the cell receiving it. So this energy passed down to for men, it passed down to the sperm. For women, it passed down to the egg. So, and when they come together, boom, the two arousal, orgasm, love, energy come together. So egg and sperm come together, boom, this power can multiply. Okay? And this power multiply, it draw in the primordial light, become our spirit. It draw in the original force, become our primordial force, become our original force that run our life. So these two energy come into our cells, and it continue on. So this arousal, orgasm, and love energy. So arousal, orgasm come from love. It come from the sex, and love energy come from the heart. So this two energy is the most powerful multiplier energy. So when it come together, you have the power. So the Tao believe how much you take it, how much your parent give you, how much you can draw from the universe. That is the key. So you draw in, boom. Now this energy creating a human, and it split. So every time it split, you remember that we need arousal, orgasm, love energy to split. So it took me a long time to say that, hey, Westerners discovered that. So the Westerners discovered that, okay, a DNA renewal, it needs arousal, orgasm, and love vibration combined together. We call love vibration. So when the cell get this love vibration, it split. So any cell don't split, they eventually die. That's why we're getting old and go sick. So when you have arousal, orgasm, there's a sexual energy, because sexual energy is the creation power. So that's why now, when we receive 100% of the original force, 25% stored in the sexual organ. That's a lot to have baby. And we have another 25% stored in the kidney, and we left to run our whole life 50%. That is, so the one that running our whole body stored in the body, stored in the organ and in here to run our life. So we have no way to take away to do anything. It's fixed. And kidney is for the emergency energy. And that also you cannot use them. So we have only sexual energy left. Because sexual energy comes from primordial force. So we only have sexual energy left. That's all. So sexual energy, and this is what a few thousand years, a emperor asked the king, how many times can I ejaculation? And the king and the Tao master said, okay, you have about 5,000 to 6,000 ejaculation.
In your life.
In your life. So everybody can have it, not only the emperor have it. So the emperor said, oh, if I can have 3,000 concubines and have sex with them and ejaculation, I maybe have few thousand children. So you see that? So the sexual energy that everybody store in here is a lot. Okay? And nowadays, with population, maybe one family have 1 or 2 children or 3 children, and this you only need a few ejaculation. So the Tao said, we have abundance of sexual energy left, but with the population now you don't need more, that many children, right? So that is the whole key about you can transform sexual energy. So in the Tao practice, one, you cannot transform sexual energy, there's nothing to practice. Yeah.
So how do you transform sexual energy?
So the whole key is that, the transformation is become like a mystery. But actually, when you understand it, it's nothing mysterious. So I always talk about E. That is what the formula of the Einstein said. E equal mc squared. That's all. So what is it? A material. And you have c squared, the speed of light, 2 times the speed of light. You put them together, bang. It transforms to energy. That's all. Okay? So that is the first step. So the Tao said, okay, so we have the inner alchemy. So the Tao carved the picture on the wall 2,500 years ago. And they draw the number 1, you have Tantian fire. Your kidney fire and your heart fire. And now you have the universal violet light. And that is the alchemical fire. So if you combine all this fire with the heart fire, kidney fire, Tantian fire, bang, you have the alchemical fire. That is the key. So alchemical fire, it can transform things, but it don't burn you. So we call fire, or we call holy fire, in the West known as. But we only hear holy fire, but how are you going to get it? Oh, you devote and pray enough, God will give you, but you don't know which day. But in this one, boom, 1, 2, 3, you get the practice, you get the thing that you need. Yeah.
But you have to do the practice.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have to do a daily practice?
That means depend on people, but they're fixed a pattern of how to do practice.
Well, how did those practices, how did they change you over time?
Definitely, the practice is give me a lot of more energy, more creating power, and more wisdom. Okay, and because the universe fill up so much wisdom and knowledge. That's what the Tao always talk about. And I do the practice, and I very seldom get sick. That is the key. Even I work very hard. Let me not say very hard. I travel around the world and teaching everywhere in Tao Garden. So if we have 52 weeks a year, I teach about nearly 45 weeks in a year, and back to back. So that's why I think that the practice already gives me a lot of energy and the power and the wisdom. Yeah, and the whole thing, you can help people to achieve very similar goal for that.
Yeah. Because then you can live a more happy and healthy life.
Yes, definitely.
And do you notice it in the people you teach as well, that they
Yeah,
grow more happy?
Yeah, because that's why I still like to travel, because everywhere you go, Master Chia, your practice saved my life. Master Chia, I don't know, every workshop you get at least so many people come to me.
Do you get used to it?
Yes, but it's still happy. You see? And I said, Master Chia, your practice really changed my life, really saved my life. And you feel happy also, you see? That is the whole key.
So it gives you a sense of meaning as well to do this.
Yeah.
Okay. I know in Tao Garden you have a retreat which sounds, to people who are not familiar with it, it sounds a bit strange. It's the dark room retreat.
Yeah.
What happens in there? What is it?
The dark room is the higher level of the Tao practice. And in the thing is that the dark room is really give you something that what we call the true light. Okay? So in the Tao said, when you go into very dark until cannot be any dark, they are light. So the Tao believe that when you go so quiet, not speaking, try to focus, and when you get the light, boom, the primordial light comes. Because that is the awakening light that we need to awakening our soul and spirit. And that light is the light that gives us direction, where we're going to go back. Yeah. So that's why in the dark room, when you see the light, or we call the violet light, it gives you a lot of wisdom and knowledge. And you know, so the first thing we said, when you see the light, you started to know where I'm going to go and what the real purpose in this life that I want to go. That is the whole key. Yeah.
And how does that work? Because after a few days of darkness, something happens? What?
Yeah, because dark room we call the perfect alchemy. So the chemical part, we say, when we go into the darkness, why? The pineal gland, when we at night, it producing melatonin for us to sleep. And this melatonin is very important for repairing the system, replacing the damaged cells, and all kind of detoxing and everything when we go to sleep. So the melatonin become a very important cell-regenerating hormone. But the melatonin involved with producing another hormone we call 5-HMO. But you need to have enough milligram to turn into see light, see color, see vision. Okay, and when you have enough melatonin, about 35 milligram, it turns to DMT. We call our body experience. But the Tao said all these things. People nowadays, they go in so much drugs, and actually it forces the body to do that. We store that hormone under the pineal gland. So when they're taking drugs, and the body think that the body gonna die, so it push the soul. The kidney give a lot of energy and adrenaline gland, and it puts the soul spirit up. So it take all the energy out.
Okay. So it's drugs like LSD or ayahuasca?
Yeah, ayahuasca. We have the magic mushroom, and there's so much in Holland. They're selling everywhere. So this kind of thing. So the Tao said you are draining and exhaust your body. Try to do our body or this kind of thing to see things, but those things is nothing, because. So the whole dark room, you are not draining your body. But because if you're in the dark room, every night, if a healthy person the melatonin producing about 3 to 5 milligram. And in the daytime, if you're still in the dark, it's so important, in the daytime you're still in the dark. So the melatonin that you produce and not turn to serotonin. Serotonin makes you wake up, active and everything, you see. So when you go to the second day, you build up 10 milligram. If you quiet, calm your mind, calm your heart, now you build up 10 milligram. And in the third or fourth day, you build up about 30 milligram, 25 milligram. Now enough for you to see thing. Actually, we say opening yourself, like the LSD, like ayahuasca, and those things actually it don't give you anything. It just gives you an illusion and draining your energy. But people see something and they think they're enlightened, but actually they're not enlightened. Because it forces the body to get to see something, to see illusion. Yeah. So that when you're in the dark room, you control. And when you see any vision, you ignore them and you change the energy. Okay? That is how the dark room are. So it's a whole process of practice. Very detailed process of practice. Yeah.
But only for the higher levels in the Tao.
Yeah.
So your teachings on the one hand side are really profound, and on the one hand side they're really practical about the physical body. And you've been working with this for the whole of your life.
Right.
What would you say is the meaning of living here on Earth?
And the Tao theory is very important, very simple. The first thing we'll talk about in the universe. Okay? So in the Tao said the universe is a big wide website, wide net. So you hold information there. And so we call the universe, or we call God. So whatever there are, the universe is interconnecting together. And a very condensed violet light, so they divide them. There are new form of violet light happen every day. We call a newborn soul and spirit. And now our attained master, it become one part of the universe. So we always talk about, I want to be oneness with God. I want to be part of the universe. What you are doing for? What you're going to be part of the universe? Why you want to be oneness with God? Why you want to be part of the universe? Because the universe, if you want to go back to the universe, you have to change your physical to energy. Because energy cannot be destroyed, only transformed. So the energy is immortal. Okay? But in the Tao separate that. They say, okay, energy, a newborn energy, or we call a newborn soul and spirit. And this newborn soul and spirit, they are just energy. Okay? They don't like all the attained master energy. They can hold themselves and they can be existing with the universe. That's the old key. So a newborn soul and spirit, they just energy and they have nothing to hold them together. So they're very quick. If they cannot, so we say the Tao says, if they cannot find a body, okay, they will disperse. And they form a new one again. So the Tao said when a newborn soul and spirit, they need, the number one, they need to have a body. That's how we have soul and spirit come to our body. Okay? But the Tao believe that all these soul and spirit that come to us is in a baby form of the spirit, or a child form of spirit. So very seldom, maybe out of 10 billion, there are one. That means out of 10 billion, one come in, they already attain and enlightened already. That's very little. So you only have few people in this world. So we all are study from this genius. But the Tao said no. Genius cannot give you much any detail how to do things. So you need to really, so we are the 99.9999%, it's not genius. So you're born with a baby and a child. So the Tao said, when you, so they say Tao, so the Tao said, if you, so when we have the soul come to us, because this physical have a container, and the organ is a mini container that hold the soul spirit inside there. That is the first step. Because you don't have a container to hold this soul spirit, they will disperse. And it's gone again, finished. So one, it come, the soul spirit coming in and it stay in different organs. So the organs are like a tiny precious container, hold the soul spirit within us. Now, and we have this physical, that number one, this physical is so important because they have a very complicating digestion, absorption, and elimination. Why? Because you have to take a raw food into the stomach, digest it, and go to the small intestine, absorb it, and turn into energy. Boom. That is what the spirit needed. So the spirit needs a physical that have digestion to take the energy, to take the food and digest it and turn into energy. And that is the major key of it. So now when we learn how the energy can transform and you can feed to the soul and spirit, so that is we call the spirit started to grow.
So the meaning of life is then transformation of energy.
The energy to feed the soul and spirit. Because the soul spirit is the one that will be immortal one. We call the immortal one. So the soul spirit is the immortal one. And but so in the people that they train or practice, they feed the soul and spirit and they grow up and they acquire for information, knowledge and wisdom. And when they grow up and have knowledge and wisdom, they go back to where they come from. So you are grow up and educated, you can be part of the universe. You can become, you take a job in the universe because they're so big. Okay, you can have a forever job in the, because you have to hold the connection of the universe, holding all the information and make sure the universe are in order to run. That's the key. So now the Tao said, a lot of people come to this world, they don't know it. So they come with a baby, and when they leave this world, the soul spirit is still like a baby, like a child. Okay? So that's why we say, and these people usually they don't know, and they lost all the energy. So the soul spirit left here, and no way to get out anyway. So the Tao said that is the worst thing in the human life, because you come with a baby soul and baby spirit, and you don't raise them. Energy, they can be, and the spirit is energy. If you don't feed them, they don't die, but they don't grow, and they can live forever like a child. But they can disperse when they no container because they're just energy and they flow. Yeah. So the whole key is that the Tao said this is the worst thing a human come to this life for. And now, some people come to this life and they never know about that. And they drink, sex, drugs, and all the energy gone, and the soul spirit left with no energy and here. So we call a lost soul, wandering ghost, and hungry ghost, because there's no physical to make energy to feed them. So that's why we call this is the worst thing of a human can do.
It's not growing.
Because what you do, you make all the money, you make all the name, you cannot carry them with you. You see? But the soul and spirit grow up, that is a major part. So we need to transform the energy from this body to feed them.
If you would give our viewers one exercise to grow their soul and spirit, just to start off the process?
There is not. There is there is a lot of practice for that.
I know.
Okay, so the whole key, the simple part is that they just have to learn how to. They have to turn inwardly, quietly, and start to be aware. Hey, I have a soul and spirit. That's the first step. We call it the first enlightenment. And when you turn inwardly into the smile to the, so we call inner smile, smile to the organ by organ by organ. When you do that, you started to realize that, oh, I have a baby soul and baby spirit. So the Tao said they are second enlightenment. And when you get the second enlightenment and you turn inwardly and you smile, and you say, oh, I decide to feed and raise my soul and spirit, that's the third enlightenment. That is the key. And the Tao said the fourth enlightenment, you have to find a practice that can really give you that much energy to feed your soul and spirit. And a method, a practice is the key. Okay? That is the key.
It's necessary to have the practice.
If you don't have it, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And the last enlightenment we call, you have a free soul and spirit. Nobody can control or condemn your soul and spirit. Nobody can condemn it, because you're born with a free soul and spirit. Yeah. So that's the 5 enlightenment. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.